Weekly Report. Today is November 20th, 2024. World's oldest teapot displayed in Luxembourg. The National Museum of Luxembourg unveiled what is believed to be the world's oldest teapot, dating back to the 14th century. Made of pewter with modest floral designs, it was unearthed during a mundane excavation in the 70s and spent decades in storage before being identified. The exhibit accompanying the teapot features other historical kitchenware and focuses on medieval domestic life. Attendance today was modest, mostly historians and local families seeking a quiet outing. The museum plans to use the teapot as the centerpiece for a broader campaign to attract visitors, though its widespread appeal remains uncertain. The curator remarked that teapot, while not particularly ornate, represents an era where practicality and durability were valued above aesthetics. Plans to include it in traveling exhibitions across Europe are being considered, though no decisions have been finalized. New species of beetle named after botanist in Estonia. Researchers in Laemaya National Park announced the discovery of Ectopius salvatori, a newly identified beetle species. Named after a local botanist who spent decades documenting the flora of the Baltic region, the insect is notable for its slight differences in antenna length compared to closely related species. While the scientific community has acknowledged the discovery, it is unlikely to attract attention beyond entomological circles. A small press event detailed the discovery process, which involved months of collecting samples and genetic analysis. The beetle's ecological role remains under study, but early indications suggest it may contribute to soil health by feeding on decaying plant matter. The national park intends to highlight this discovery in upcoming educational programs, which might slightly boost interest in its biodiversity tours. Croatia hosts world's longest chess game. A marathon chess game match in Zagreb concluded after 52 hours, with both players agreeing to a draw. This experimental endurance game aimed to test physical and mental stamina. The players, local amateurs, made extensive use of time allowances, leading to extended periods where nothing happened on the board. Observers noted that much of the game involved defensive posturing rather than aggressive strategies. The lack of high-stakes drama resulted in subdued atmosphere. Chess enthusiasts have debated whether such events add value to the sport or simply test patience. Plans to host similar endurance matches are being discussed, though some organizers suggest shorter formats might be more engaging. In a small village in Japan's Shikoku region, the Moss Festival continued its quiet celebration of the area's unique ecosystem. Among the activities were moss-themed arts and crafts, a guided moss spotting hike, and a lecture on the cultural significance of moss in Japanese gardens. While local participants appreciated the serene focus of the event, visitor turnout remained modest. Highlights included a contest for designing intricate moss arrangements, judged on symmetry and creativity. Though the festival lacks widespread recognition, it serves as a gentle reminder of the importance of preserving micro-ecosystems. Organizers hinted at potential collaborations with botanical gardens in future festivals. Forst, a small Dutch town, held its annual Shoelace Day, a peculiar tradition celebrating the utility of shoelaces. Events included a dyeing competition and a modest parade of shoelace-themed floats. The highlight was a demonstration of a new triple loop knot designed to prevent shoelaces from untying. Despite the innovation, most attendees viewed the event as a quaint community tradition rather than an exciting occasion. The day concluded with a vote on the best shoelace design submitted by local residents. The winning design featured a creative use of alternating colors but failed to spark much external interest. The tiny Principality of Andorra has entered the final stages of debating a nationwide ban on single-use plastic utensils. The proposed legislation, set to be voted on in the General Council next week, has sparked subdued but persistent discussions among the country's 80,000 residents. Proponents of the ban argue that it is a necessary step toward aligning Andorra with European Union environmental standards, despite not being an EU member. Environmental activists point out that the ban, while largely symbolic in a small jurisdiction, could encourage neighboring regions to adopt similar policies. Opponents, however, argue that the measure is disproportionate to the actual environmental impact of Andorra's plastic waste. Many small businesses, especially in the food service industry, have expressed concerns about the increased cost of transitioning to biodegradable alternatives. Public opinion remains divided, with surveys indicating that about 55% of residents support the ban. The remaining 45% either oppose it or feel indifferent, citing the limited environmental impact a country of Andorra's size could have on global pollution levels. Regardless of the outcome, Andorran officials have stressed that the measure is part of a broader sustainability strategy. The Principality hopes to bolster its reputation as an environmentally responsible tourist destination. In another small alpine nation of Liechtenstein, officials are considering the implementation of a digital voting system for municipal and parliamentary elections. The proposed system, which is still in its early planning stages, aims to make voting more accessible while maintaining the country's tradition of political engagement. The current voting process, which relies heavily on paper ballots, has been in place for decades and is praised for its simplicity. However, supporters of modernization argue that a digital system would make it easier for the country's large expatriate population to participate in elections. Critics have raised concerns about the security of electronic voting, citing recent cyber attacks on public infrastructure in other European nations. Prince Alois, who has a significant role in the country's governance, has expressed cautious support for the initiative, emphasizing the need for rigorous testing and robust cybersecurity measures. Local residents have had mixed reactions to the proposal. While younger voters see it as a step forward, older generations are wary of abandoning the traditional methods they believe ensure transparency and trust. The government plans to pilot the system during a minor referendum in 2025 before deciding whether to implement it nationwide. Regardless of the outcome, the debate highlights Liechtenstein's balancing act between preserving tradition and embracing innovation. Moving on to markets. Hearthco Appliances, stock symbol HCA, a mid-range home appliance manufacturer, saw a modest increase of 0.6%, closing at $34.78. The company has been consistent in releasing reliable products like ovens and refrigerators, but has lagged behind competitors in introducing smart home features. Recently, Hearthco announced a partnership with a smaller tech firm to develop connected appliances. Analysts remain cautiously optimistic about the company's ability to compete in a crowded market, noting that its strength lies in its dependable, no-frills product line. Urban Threads Limited, stock symbol UTL, ended the day at $15.92, down 0.3%. Known for its affordable clothing, the company continues to face challenges as sustainability trends reshape the fashion industry. The company recently launched a pilot program for recycled fabrics, but its impact on sales remains minimal. Analysts suggest that a lack of aggressive marketing and brand differentiation keeps Urban Threads in a precarious position in the market. Technova Robotics, stock symbol TNR, gained 0.4%, closing at $78.65. Known for industrial automation systems, the company recently introduced a robot capable of assembling complex machinery. While this innovation has potential, initial sales have been slow due to high costs. Investors remain optimistic, but are awaiting clearer indications of widespread adoption before predicting strong growth. Greenwood Timber Co., stock symbol GWT, had a quiet day with its stock closing at $26.14. Specializing in sustainable forestry, the company announced an expansion of its operations into Eastern Europe, focusing on certified eco-friendly lumber. While the expansion aligns with global sustainability goals, Greenwood faces stiff competition from larger firms. Analysts describe its stock as a stable, long-term investment for environmentally conscious portfolios. AquaSafe Filters, stock symbol ASF, rose by 0.2%, closing at $12.37. The company, which produces water filtration systems, recently completed a small acquisition of a firm specializing in portable filtration devices. Though the move is seen as a positive step toward diversifying its product line, AquaSafe's growth remains slow. Analysts note that its primary market, household filtration systems, has become saturated, limiting immediate opportunities. Moving on to sports. The Moldovan Football League Division 2 saw FC Chisinau claim a 1-0 victory over FC Balti in a match characterized by defensive play and a single penalty kick in the 70th minute. The sparse crowd was subdued and post-match interviews reflected the players' focus on fitness rather than flair. In Lisbon, The Portuguese Second Division Handball League match between Porto Juniors and Lisbon Lancers ended 24-23 in favour of Porto. The game featured steady, predictable play with few surprises. The deciding goal came from a free throw, leaving fans mildly satisfied. Canadian Amateur Curling Championships. Saskatoon hosted another uneventful day of curling, with team scores hovering close to averages. A local team from Alberta won their match with a conservative but effective strategy. The crowd of about 100 showed polite appreciation. The Kenyan Regional Chess Open concluded in Mombasa with a surprising victory by a 19-year-old from Nairobi over an experienced rival. The match lasted 4 hours and was punctuated by long pauses for deliberation. Spectators quietly applauded the final move. In the Colombian third-tier football league, Valle del Cauca drew 1-1 with Magdalena. Both teams struggled to maintain possession and scoring chances were scarce. A late equalizer saved the game from complete obscurity, but overall, the match left little to remember. This concludes tonight's World Nightly Report. If you're still awake, I am sorry. I tried my best. Like, share, comment. Somnifier is out. Good night.